Court rules Trump overstepped on tariffs. Supreme Court showdown looms. A federal appeals court ruled that most of President Trump's tariffs were illegal, finding he exceeded his authority under the 1977 International Emergency Economic Powers Act. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit in Washington, D.C. struck down Trump's reciprocal tariffs imposed in April, as well as a separate set of tariffs imposed in February against China, Canada, and Mexico. However, tariffs imposed under other legal authorities, such as those on steel and aluminum imports, remain unaffected. The ruling allows the tariffs to remain in place until October 14th to give time for a Supreme Court appeal. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent commented that if the Supreme Court strikes down the tariffs, alternative legal authorities could be used, though these are less efficient and less powerful than AAPL.
Alibaba bets on inference chips while China struggles in AI training. Alibaba has developed a new AI chip aimed at inference tasks, according to the Wall Street Journal. Unlike its earlier, application-specific processors, the new chip is designed for a broader range of AI inference workloads and is currently in testing. The chip is manufactured by a Chinese company rather than Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing. US restrictions have barred TSMC from producing advanced AI chips for China. A key feature is that the chip will be compatible with NVIDIA's platform, allowing engineers to repurpose programs originally written for NVIDIA hardware. By contrast, Huawei's chips, also developed under US sanctions, are not designed to integrate with NVIDIA systems. China continues to struggle with AI training, where NVIDIA dominates with high-performance GPUs. Engineers have raised concerns that domestic chips overheat or break down during training runs, highlighting the gap in reliability.
China's Unitree Robotics dominates first-ever World Humanoid Robot Games. The first-ever World Humanoid Robot Games took place in Beijing, showcasing athletic competitions, cognitive challenges, and artistic performances to test agility, intelligence, and human-like traits of next-generation humanoid robots. While some viral moments highlighted the difficulties of humanoid robotics, Unitree Robotics impressed industry watchers and largely dominated the headlines for its consistent performance in sporting events and dance. Unitree secured 11 medals, including 4 golds, with its flagship H1 humanoid robot setting records in the 400-meter dash, 1500-meter race, 100-meter hurdles, and the 100-meter relay.
Global tech titans target India in next wave of AI expansion. India's Reliance Industries is teaming up with Google and Meta to accelerate its AI ambitions. With Google, Reliance will use cloud and AI services to drive innovation in energy, retail, telecom and finance. Alphabet CEO Sundar Pichai said a new clean energy-powered cloud region in India will be built, connected via Jio's network. Separately, Reliance and Meta are launching a $100 million AI joint venture to develop enterprise-ready AI solutions built on Llama, aimed at serving Indian enterprises. Chairman Mukesh Ambani also announced a new wholly owned unit, Reliance Intelligence, with the vision to house India's AI infrastructure, house global partnerships, build AI services for India, and house the talent for AI. Ambani said the unit will develop gigawatt-scale AI data centers. Meanwhile, OpenAI is scouting Indian partners to establish a 1 gigawatt data center as part of its expansion in India, its second-largest market by users.
Alphabet jumps 6% after judge rules Chrome divestiture off the table. Alphabet shares surged more than 6% after hours as Judge Amit Mehta ruled that Google won't be forced to sell Chrome in a major antitrust case. Instead, Google must open up competition in online search by sharing more data with rivals and is barred from exclusive search contracts, though it can still pay for search engine inclusion. The decision could affect Apple's $20 billion annual payment from Google for default search placement. Apple stock rose over 3% after hours. CEO Sundar Pichai cautioned that sharing large amounts of data risks letting competitors reverse engineer its technology. Google plans to appeal, potentially delaying remedies for years. Google continues to face multiple antitrust battles, including a September trial on alleged monopolies in advertising technology, while it will keep fighting a ruling it lost against Epic Games, addressing required changes to its Play App Store. NVIDIA denies rumors on GPU shortage, calls it categorically false. In a post on X on Tuesday, the company stated, "We've seen erroneous chatter in the media claiming that NVIDIA is supply constrained and sold out of H100, H200. As we noted at earnings, our cloud partners can rent every H100, H200 they have online, but that doesn't mean we're unable to fulfill new orders." NVIDIA emphasized, "We have more than enough H100, H200 to satisfy every order without delay." The company company also clarified, "The rumor that H20 reduced our supply of either H100, H200, or Blackwell is also categorically false. Selling H20 has no impact on our ability to supply other NVIDIA products." NuScale soars as TVA backs largest U.S. small modular reactor program. NuScale Power closed 7.6% higher on Tuesday after the Tennessee Valley Authority signed an agreement with Entra One Energy, NuScale's strategic partner, to develop up to 6 gigawatts of small modular reactors across multiple sites. This marks the largest U.S. SMR deployment program to date. Entra One plans to install NuScale's SMRs in its energy plants, aiming to generate enough electricity to power 4.5 million homes or 60 new data centers. All power will be sold to TVA under future purchase agreements, though no timeline was given for when the plants will be operational. The agreement is TVA's latest effort to bring as much new nuclear energy online as quickly as possible. TVA is also working with Google and Kairos Power on a 50-megawatt SMR project targeted for the grid by 2030, and planning its own SMR at the Clinch River site in Tennessee.
Apple prepares AI-powered Siri overhaul with new web search tool. Apple is reportedly developing an AI-driven web search tool called World Knowledge Answers, set to launch in spring 2026 as part of a major Siri overhaul. Bloomberg notes the feature could expand to Safari and Spotlight, positioning Siri as a hub where users can look up information from across the internet, in a similar fashion to ChatGPT and AI overviews in Google Search. The effort is powered by large language models, with Apple also experimenting with Google's Gemini AI to power parts of the revamped Siri, while also evaluating Anthropic's Claude and its own in-house models for various functions. JOBY Aviation pilots Cessna remotely in bid for Pentagon's $9.4 billion budget. JOBY Aviation, in a demonstration for the Air Force, successfully flew a Cessna 208 remotely using its superpilot flight technology. The demonstration, part of the Resolute Force Pacific exercise, was a step toward the Air Force's goal of using autonomously piloted light aircraft for high-risk deliveries. The superpilot technology, which was developed by X-Wing before JOBY acquired it, logged over 7,000 miles of autonomous flight in more than 40 hours. This included a 4,925-mile round-trip flight over the Pacific Ocean, where the aircraft was operated by ground control from bases as far as 3,000 miles away. A safety pilot was on board to monitor the system. This successful demonstration positions JOBY to potentially bid on the Pentagon's $9.4 billion budget for advancing autonomous and hybrid aircraft. Additionally, the company's work with defense partners can help advance the integration of autonomous capabilities into its commercial air taxi platform.
Florida to become first state to scrap all vaccine mandates. Florida is set to become the first U.S. state to eliminate all vaccine requirements, including those for children in public schools. State Surgeon General Joseph Ladapo announced Wednesday that every remaining mandate in Florida law will be repealed. Currently, all 50 states require certain vaccinations for school attendance, though exemptions vary. Florida already allows religious opt-outs, but removing mandates altogether could significantly lower immunization rates. Trump seeks early November Supreme Court hearing on disputed tariffs. President Donald Trump is urging the Supreme Court to fast-track his appeal to maintain his tariffs. According to filings obtained by NBC News, Trump wants arguments heard in early November and a final decision issued soon after. The filings warn that delaying a ruling until June 2026 could result in a scenario in which $750 billion to $1 trillion in tariffs have already been collected, and unwinding them could cause significant disruption. Tesla opens robotaxi app to public riders. Tesla announced that its robotaxi rideshare app is now available to all, according to a post from the Tesla robotaxi account on X. The app's terms of service include provisions for California users, though it remains unclear whether autonomous rides are currently available in Austin and the Bay Area.
OpenAI teams with Broadcom to launch in-house AI chip in 2026. OpenAI is set to launch its first AI chip next year in partnership with US semiconductor company Broadcom, according to the Financial Times. People familiar with the matter said the chip will be used internally at OpenAI rather than being offered to external customers.
OKLO plans $1.7 billion Tennessee plant to recycle nuclear waste into fuel. OKLO announced plans to build a $1.68 billion facility in Tennessee to recycle nuclear waste into fuel for its advanced small modular reactors, marking the first U.S. recycling plant of its kind. The company has completed a licensing project with the Nuclear Regulatory Commission and is in the pre-application stage, targeting early 2030s operation. OKLO is also in talks with the Tennessee Valley Authority to recycle waste from its nuclear plants and potentially supply electricity from its planned Aurora powerhouse reactor. The U.S. currently stores more than 94,000 metric tons of used nuclear fuel, which OKLO says could be recycled to unlock energy equal to 1.3 trillion barrels of oil. CEO Jacob DeWitt emphasized, "Fuel is the single most important factor in bringing advanced nuclear energy to market. By recycling used nuclear fuel at an industrial scale, we are turning waste into watts, cutting costs, and establishing a secure U.S. supply chain." Quantum stocks jump as NVIDIA invests in Honeywell's Quantinuum. The investment is part of a $600 million funding round, valuing Quantinuum at $10 billion, with proceeds supporting large-scale quantum development and the launch of its next-gen Helios system. NVIDIA's backing is significant, given CEO Jensen Huang's shifting stance on quantum computing. Earlier this year, Huang said, "Very useful quantum computers were 15 to 30 years away, causing sector stocks to slump." In March, he walked back those remarks at NVIDIA's GTC, which hosted its first Quantum Day. By June, Huang declared the industry at an inflection point. Also in June, NVIDIA announced collaborations with IonQ, AWS, and AstraZeneca to build a quantum-accelerated computational chemistry workflow.
Amazon stock rises on Anthropic partnership and Trainium ramp. Amazon stock rose 3% Thursday as its partnership with Anthropic accelerates data center expansion and the ramp-up of its Trainium AI chips. According to SemiAnalysis, AWS is building 3 campuses for Anthropic, totaling 1.3 gigawatts capacity, expected to primarily run on Trainium chips. One campus will host nearly 1 million Trainium 2 chips, forming the largest non-NVIDIA AI cluster. Though Trainium chips lack the power of NVIDIA's most powerful processors, Anthropic was involved in the design process, meaning these chips deliver specifically what Anthropic needs to run its large language models. Barclays analyst Ross Sandler noted that Anthropic's contribution could boost Amazon's revenue in upcoming quarters. Unlike OpenAI's consumer subscription model, Anthropic focuses on high-value enterprise deals, positioning the collaboration to further strengthen AWS's enterprise AI leadership.